There is some particulate matter going around the area. We can smell the smoke. The drivers will possibly see that smoke as they're coming through the area as well.
Well, this combined with, the overhead fog that we had this morning, actually making for some cooler conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. Temps there in the 50s this morning. A lot of us are in the 50s and 60s, but we have a lot of fog in place as well. Let me give you a couple of live shots to give you some comparison here. This is out towards San Rafael. You can see clear skies. We've got another shot for you just to show you a lot of the haze and the smoke that we've been talking about all morning, and Mike was talking about it as well. San Jose, this is looking out toward the HP Pavilion. We have some smoke and some haze in some spots, and we also have reports of maybe some falling ash in places, especially close to Los Gatos, Almaden Valley, Saratoga, right over to Elm Rock, Willow Glen. That's all coming from the smoke coming our direction. Temperatures at this hour, most of us are in the 50s and 60s. Notice Santa Rosa at 66 degrees. That's where we have mainly clear skies. 58 in San Francisco with the sea breeze. San Jose only at 62. So is Livermore, Mountain View. And in Oakland sitting at 59. So where the sun is shining bright, Santa Rosa, that's where we have a little bit of warmer weather. We talked about that fog that was in place. The wind is coming out, blowing up toward the South Bay. So we are getting some of that smoke out there. If you have upper respiratory problems, or if your child does, you might want to consider staying indoors. If you wanted to go for a run or a bike and you're in this area, it's one area you probably want to avoid today. What we have going on in the upper atmosphere is a big spin right about here. Notice that brought a very rare tornado to Southern California, tornado to Colorado yesterday. Today it kind of opens up and sits over the western half of the U.S. It's going to push back, if you will, our direction. In doing so, we're going to see some cold air follow right over the Bay Area, flow right into the Bay Area. Lots of 70s out there. With that flow, we're actually going to see some showers. If you're planning a trip to the Sierra Nevada this weekend for the Memorial Day holiday, well, we are going to see some showers, some rain and some thunder showers, even some snow, maybe above 7,000 feet, about an inch or snow. But closer to home, we're going to see plenty of 70s around here. Some passing clouds, a bit cool at times. I think a lot of the rain is going to avoid us, but nonetheless, it's going to be on the cool side. Great for firefighting efforts. 70s for the south end of the bay from San Jose over to Los Gatos, Evergreen, Livermore 77, Peninsula some 60s, San Francisco about 65 this afternoon. At the beaches, 50s and low 60s. Oakland 71, over the hill into Concord, Pittsburgh, Orinda, Walnut Creek, closer to 80, and plenty of mid 70s across the north end of the bay, where you're not really feeling the effects of the smoke. Most of that is, say, from the Golden Gate over the East Bay and down south. 7-day forecast. Notice it's going to be a little bit calmer out there for as far as temperatures and wind. We don't have those gusty winds that we saw yesterday, 50-mile-per-hour gusts coming out of the north. Now the wind is coming out of the west and the southeast, and it's kind of shifting around, so it's a cooler air that's coming our direction. We'll keep that through Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. So if you have outdoor plans, plan on some clouds. Again, if you're headed to the Sierra, we are going to see some thunderstorms and some showers there over to Southern California as well. So Brent and Laura, the good news is we do have some more relative humidity. Cooler temperatures should help firefighting efforts, and we'll stay on the 70s this weekend. Back to you.
Sounds great. Nice temperatures.
Great. Yeah.
Up next, severe weather in Southern California.
Also, a huge tornado. Check this one out. In Colorado, flips big rigs as if they were made of paper and kills at least one person.
And don't forget to send your breaking news and weather cell phone shots to NBC 11. Just send video or photos to NBC11@Veeker.com.
People in Colorado cleaning up after an unusual and massive tornado. At least one person was killed in the town of Windsor, but residents say it could have been much worse. NBC 11's Leanne Gregg takes a look at the widespread damage left behind.
Communities are assessing damage and beginning the massive cleanup after a powerful tornado ripped through northern Colorado towns. 100-mile-an-hour winds tore apart homes, tossed rail cars off their tracks, and downed century-old trees.
There was this quiet before the storm, before it hit, and it did sound like a train. It does. Sounds like a freight train. We heard the windows breaking and everything. Scary.
I've never seen such destruction.
Kelly Barron's neighborhood was in its path in the farming community of Windsor, one of the hardest hit areas. Her in-laws' home was among those damaged or destroyed.
Making sure my family is okay, and thank God my mom and dad were here when it happened.
Crews are working to remove debris, contain gas leaks, and restore power. It'll be days before all electricity is restored and weeks before the cleanup is finished. They'll be working long hours to set poles and restore substations following one of the most devastating storms anybody here can remember. Leanne Gregg, NBC News, Windsor, Colorado.
Thank you, Leanne. Meantime, the cleanup continues this morning after a rare tornado touchdown in Southern California. This cell phone video was shot last night in Riverside County. The powerful twister flipped a tractor trailer on the 215 freeway and derailed at least 9 freight cars from 2 separate trains. Police say the truck driver was rescued and was not severely hurt when his truck was pushed from the road. The wild spring storm also dumped hail, rain, and snow across Southern California. No serious injuries were reported.
Firefighters slowly getting the upper hand on the Summit wildfire. Coming up, a live update on the challenge that's still ahead for the crews working around the clock.
If you're planning to hit the road this holiday weekend, it's really going to hit your wallet.
We continue to follow the fight against the Summit wildfire in the Santa Cruz Mountains. It's now 20% contained. The wind has died down a little bit. The fog came in nice and cool, rolled in overnight. That is all helping to give crews much needed help. Now, the fire has burned some 3,400 acres, or about 5 square miles. About 1,400 homes are evacuated. Nobody has been hurt, but 12 buildings have burned down, and 10 of those are homes. CAL FIRE Chief Dave Shue joins me this morning from the command center in Gilroy. Good morning, and thanks for taking some time to talk to us.
Good morning.
Can you tell us a little bit about the plan of attack for today, what you guys hope to accomplish?
Yes, our folks are out on the line today hoping to hold the perimeter of the fire to the location that we set it at yesterday. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a slop over last night that burned across the line up on Summit Road, burning an additional approximately 50 acres or so. Our concern today is making sure that those lines are secured so that the fire doesn't grow any larger.
Now, when you say slop over, is that embers that still kind of blow over and end up airborne and end up across the lines? Is that what happened?
Yes, that's exactly the case. We had fairly strong winds until approximately midnight last night, after which time the wind started dying down somewhat. They were very low winds today, but as we expected, the winds are beginning to start kicking up this morning again. We expect the winds to increase in intensity this afternoon. The bad part is that the winds are coming in off the ocean from their normal flow, and they're going to be pushing from the southwest to the east, and that's going to make it even more difficult for us to hold the line up on Summit Road. But we expect that that line will be held.
Now, what about the aerial attack? I know that earlier this morning you kind of had to hold off because the fog was so thick, and the good news is it's cool, but you can't fly. That's gone now, but now you're looking at the winds kicking up. So what's the situation with that?
Well, the air attack is up and flying over the fire now. We don't have any air tankers up. The fog layer is still impacting the fire area right now, so we don't have any air tankers on the fire at this time. However, we are going to, the briefings just occurred for the helicopter pilots, and they should be up in the air momentarily. So we'll have helicopters flying over the fire from this point forward throughout the rest of the day. And we have to wait a little while longer for some additional fog to burn off before the tankers can go up.
All right, now I know that you have the crews working to fight the fire, but you also have people trying to figure out how it got started in the first place. Do you have any new assessment there? Do you have an idea where or how or why this fire got started?
Nothing yet. We know approximately the general location of where it started. We have investigators who are looking into why the fire started. We've heard a lot of rumors and speculation from the public and the media about what a lot of people think, but we don't know for sure. And so we've got investigators looking into the cause, and we're not going to release any information until we're 100% sure of what that is.
All right, David Shue, Chief Shue, thank you for joining us this morning, giving us a little perspective, and of course, the best of luck to you and your crews throughout the day today.
Thank you very much.
Meantime, air quality is becoming a big concern the longer this fire rages on, and shifting winds mean people across the Bay Area beginning to smell smoke. We have Marty Fenderscheib on the phone right now. He is the public health officer for Santa Clara County. We thank you for joining us this morning.
Sure.
What do you know? What do you want people to know? What's important?
The most thing that's most important is that if you are seeing smoke or you smell smoke, then there's enough of those bad particulates in the air that you should take precautions. So limit your outdoor activity. I wouldn't let kids playing outside. I would, if you have asthma or any of the respiratory illnesses, to stay inside. And